Hello, hello, testing. Check 1 2, check 1 2. All right, perfect. What's up, Kyle? I am alive, yeah. I am alive. Lot to talk about, lot to talk about. Chilling. I've been up and around and down and stuff. We'll talk about it. I'm happy to be streaming right now. Definitely. Yeah, hard times. Banger. Oh, hello. This countdown is too long, bruh. I need to shorten it. I don't know why I put it to 5 minutes, dude. It needs to be like a minute and a half. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Yesterday Podcast with me, your boy, Audible 484. I am merely happy to be speaking to you guys right now. There's been a lot that's gone on. I obviously didn't do the podcast 4 days ago on Sunday when I normally do, or 3 days ago on Sunday like I normally do, and there's a lot that goes into why. This has been a really long week and a half, or almost 2 weeks now, and it's a lot to talk about. All is well. This is not going to be a sad podcast. This is going to be an introspective but positive and hopeful one. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Please check us out on Spotify, the Apple Podcasts app, anywhere you get your podcasts. If you guys are listening to this on YouTube, and if you're on the other side and you're only listening, check us out on youtube.com/audible484, audible484.com for the merch. You could always check out our Patreon, our join button. There's so many different ways you guys can support if you're interested. Best way for you guys to do it is to just get yourself a t-shirt. Get yourself a t-shirt, a phone case, something like that. You can do all that at audible484.com. I can't talk right now. Yeah. So let's just get it started then. Let's just get it started. You know what I mean? Greetings, everybody. How is everyone doing today? Hi, it is July 15th, 7:35 p.m. I just got done with what I would consider my Friday, because I have the next 3 days off of work, and I'm fucking so proud that I got through these last 4 days of work. Now before I get into like what the title's about, what the podcast I want to talk about, I do want to start it off by saying like I'm chilling. Like I'm having a glass of some really weak Stella Rosa black wine, but it tastes delicious. Um, I'm in a good spot, but I definitely hit a bump on the road, I'd say, last Saturday. So basically, I went through a very bad coke come down from around Sunday morning, this last Sunday morning, till about maybe till barely still feeling the effects, maybe even today. Um, I can definitely say that I have no interest in doing cocaine ever again. That I have realized that there's a reason why people do it and people who are around it tend to stray away from it after a while of usage. Um, I hadn't done it in a long time. I did it again and had a great night, but the after effects were not worth it. Um, Basically, what happened, I went to a friend's house Saturday and we went to go watch the UFC fight. I bought the fight. Like I was really excited about that. I've been working. I have a little extra money. So I bought this $65 pay-per-view event. And I was honestly really, really excited about going to my friend's house, watching it there. I hit up a few other friends and we all got together, right? Which is rare for me. I don't normally do that. I'm always a very introverted type of guy. I know a lot of you guys who've been listening or watching for a long time know that already. But I've always been very introverted. I'm not, maybe not always, but definitely in the last like fucking half a decade. That's just who I've been. And for me to set a date and invite a bunch of friends over to somebody's house to hang out, it was a big deal for me. I felt really good about it. And it just made me feel really good just to even plan it out. Um, we got I scheduled it to where I would work in the morning and then I would go there after work. I put in some overtime. I put in five extra hours of my 40-hour shift on that Saturday, and I was off at 6. But I told myself, if I'm gonna do this, if I'm gonna spend the $65, or if I'm gonna whatever, I'm gonna work some overtime. So I was just feeling really confident, happy with myself to be hanging out with friends and doing something. Um, so I basically like I hate saying like and basically in the same sentence, especially right in that moment, like in that type of a moment. But I was just in good spirits. That's my whole thing I want to say. I got to my friend's house and it was such a really, really nice couple hours before I got too drunk. And even when I don't want to take apart this night and fucking break it up and be all judgmental of myself or anyone else. That's really not what it is. But what kind of sucked is that I understood this night that one I'm not that introverted. Hi Disco, hi Kyle, hi V. I see you guys all in chat. How are you guys doing? Um I just basically realized like I'm not as introverted, or it's like almost like I'm forcing myself to be this introvert. I enjoy hanging out with my friends. I have something in my eye. And I realized that night. And I realized that because I was so fucking overly excited to just be around friends. And granted, it could be because, we've been in quarantine and everything's been, the world has been what it is. But I saw that, damn, in retrospect, I see that I was extremely excited and hype to just be around my friends who I hadn't seen in a long time, to be around adult conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like it was very nice. And I still really, really enjoyed the night. But I think what came with that excitement, with that frustration of being home all the time or whatever the fuck, like, plus a lot of things kind of just being on my mind, I realized that I kind of got to a point where I don't want to be at. I got to a point where I just stopped giving a fuck about how much I drank, how I was getting home. I lost, didn't care about what time it was. I wasn't, paying attention to my phone, at least aware of, my wife and my children's um, status. You know, no, I'm always I hate to let go of that tether because there's times when that happens, and you know when I'm too drunk or other moments, I just don't like to let go of that tether, that mental tether, if that makes sense. Um, I just got very irresponsible after hanging out and drinking as much as I did. So irresponsible to the point where I decided, yeah, I'm down. I'll do some cocaine with you guys. Um, Now, don't get me wrong. I don't have anything against cocaine. I think that there is a lot of benefits to it, especially in social situations. Um, for the most part, it was fun. It was definitely, I guess you could say like a social lubricant, even in that moment. But I think I don't know if it's necessarily the drug in particular, or maybe um, it's more so like myself and my group of friends. I think we take it past a point where it's a social lubricant and we kind of just allow ourselves to get enveloped in this wave of cocaine and this we allow ourselves to get thrusted into this universe of just cocaine conversation and meaningless compliments. It's almost like we spoke about things that we never had spoken about, but we also had spoken about them before, but they don't mean it's almost like we forget about it, or it doesn't mean as much because every time we speak this way, we're fucked up. And it was a trip to me to see like, oh, we've kind of low key had these conversations already. It's just that we still get this urge to release that energy and those thoughts when we're on coke or we're fucked up in general because we've never really had those conversations in a healthy way, something that was meaningful, that lasted. And this is all mostly in retrospect that I understood this, right? In the moment, I was lost in it. I became this overly excited, arrogant, fucking like boastful, braggadocious, obnoxious, aggressive, annoying person. All those different aspects of my personality, which I already have, that I've learned to kind of shut the fuck up because I know they're bad characteristics. It was almost like every single negative aspect of my personality was accentuated or exaggerated. I don't know if that's the right word in this moment. And it was such a trip to just think like, what the fuck? Who was that guy? That was literally me back when I was 23 years old. That is not me right now. Maybe younger than 23 even. Like that it instantly switched and it was like, I don't know. Like I'm not in a place where I've been. Well, let me just continue the story, right? The coke came out. I ended up looking at my watch and realizing it was like 4:30 in the morning. I was like, holy fucking shit. I need to figure a way to get the hell out of here. I need to go home. Is really, I ended up going home like later around like, I don't know, like 7 or something like that. Got home safe. And I normally work Sundays, but I chose to take a vacation day Sunday because I had some hours. Um, Big reason why I worked overtime on that Saturday was like, okay, if I'm gonna use vacation hours plus I'm gonna buy this fight, I'm gonna at least work some overtime, whatever. I took the day off, so in the morning when I got home, I'm like, oh, I'll have the whole day to sleep, and then I gotta go to work the next day. It was not easy to sleep. It was not easy to get. I could not. This was not the type of come down or experience that I could just get over in 18 to 18 to 20 hours. Um, um, yes. What do you want? Ugh, I'm talking about my Coke come down. Do you have anything to add? I'm gross. She smiled. She said as she smiled, and once she heard her husband continue to speak, her nostrils flared, her eyebrows rose, and she bursted with laughter. I It was a very annoying Sunday, and there were moments that were actually really nice because I was forced to be in bed all day because I knew that that was the only way I was going to be able to get to work on that Monday. And there's, but what was the worst about this come down was that I really didn't feel it until Monday morning when I went to work. And all these faint memories, these weird moments that just randomly I remembered of that night, of these were just cringy and almost disrespectful and disgusting things that were said and heard or whatever. It was just like something that was constantly on my mind, and it was hard for me to get past because I just kept feeling like shit that I said certain things, or I overshared about certain things, or I responded to certain things poorly, or exaggerated feelings I had to be funny, and I'm worried about if my friends really think I'm being serious and things like that. Like it was definitely something that it was really hard for me to just deal with my everyday life and be at work and not just just fucking like give up on like work and life and just like I don't know. It's like I've had a lot on my mind and things that I don't really talk about to anybody who, other than my wife, you know what I'm saying? And even her, I've learned to kind of like stray away from because I talk too much. But just to be around my friends, my boys, my brother, and like it just felt like there was a lot of things that I, have wanted to talk about and just got the chance to now. So it was overly excited, oversharing bullshit coke conversation. And it was frustrating to have those memories come back and me just feel like shit about it. But the thing that I kind of and like I said, this is not a sad story. This is just what I've dealt with since then. And I kind of wanted to explain. Um, but I felt it was like I like just doing this video, like I legitimately like I how do I put this? Hold on. I feel like I had the obligation to go through this come down, study it, take mental notes about getting through it, and then come back and report it. Because throughout this come down, some of the things that were getting me through it were responses to me making a video about how to get through a come down. So there were multiple comments that I was getting as I was filling my come down that was saying that I was helping other people with this video that I made about how to get through a come down. So it was a mind fuck. And it was like honestly like in the dark moments of this last few days, there was and maybe even in the last week or so, there's been thoughts that have gone through my mind about like, damn, what if I just didn't do YouTube anymore? What if I just, you know, like took a huge break and just focused on working and just doing overtime and coming home and going to sleep and chilling and not worried about doing all this extra shit that I worry about doing, podcasts and, trip story videos, whatever. And even if I'm not doing them, it's still a very, very big piece uh, of the energy I use. And it was like in this come down in certain dark moments, it kind of really, really was like, oh, I might actually just not like making videos. I actually might be like, fuck that, because things got so dark and confusing. And then I'd get a notification on my phone. I got a Instagram message recently from somebody who said that I literally saved his life because he was doing ecstasy with his friends. He remembered in one of my videos I mentioned that you should only take half or a little less than half your first time. He ended up taking a quarter because of he remembered what I said, and his buddy took an entire pill and ended up in the ICU because there was some it was laced with something according to what he said. Um and it was like comments like that was like, oh fuck, I can't quit. There's no I mean I could, but I just The idea of getting ahead financially is very exciting. To saving, to being financially stable, the opportunities that have and we're going to have going forward, paying off all this debt that I've been paying off and shit like that, just getting caught up and ahead is super fucking exciting for me. But I don't want it to get so exciting. Or I guess that what I learned is that I can't allow it to get so exciting that I give up on my true purpose as a man, as a fucking YouTuber, whatever. And I learned that because I went through this shit and it was hard, man. It really was fucking hard, dude. It was this shit is was not fucking easy, dude. People man, it's really fucking hard to get your mind right after doing like drugs, man. It really fucking is. And it's like I feel so bad for people who allow themselves to get caught up in come downs, because come downs and drug experiences can truly change your fucking life if you don't know how to do it right, and you don't know what's true and what's not, and you can't be strong through it. I've gone through it. I've experienced it so much that I'm confident in being able to get through it. But I also don't want to go through it no more. I have no urge to do cocaine anymore. Happily. I went through this horrible come down happily, if that makes sense. Um, I am talking about a sad part of my life that I just recently went through and still have echoings of now, happily, because I don't know, it just feels like low key. Like there were moments where I was at work and I'm sitting there fucking sweating and wanting to throw up and wanted to fucking pull my fucking hair out of my face, and I just like felt like, oh no, this is what you got to do. You got to do it. It was almost like the moments when I've been on acid and real deep psychedelic experiences, and I see other people struggling through that same psychedelic experience. It's almost like I feel this responsibility, and whether it be fucking ego or whatever the fuck that told me that, I appreciate it. And I think that the fact that my board up here is blank and I have nothing written down like I did last month is a good explanation and an example of of where I've been, I guess, the last week or two. But I'm going to fill that board out right after this podcast, and I'm going to keep pushing, whatever the fuck that means. My cousin and I still have the mind control podcast that we're going to be working on. Hopefully that'll be out by the end of the week. I have this really strong urge to make music. I have a trip story video that I've already written out, or not written out, but I already did a lot of the back end editing. I have work to do, basically, and I'm excited, man. I know it's only been a week and a half or two or whatever, but it feels like longer to me, and I'm excited to not be gone from YouTube. I'm excited to have gone through a really huge mind fuck. And not only did I not leave work early or find some stupid fucking excuse to self destruct my entire life like I have in the past, I'm glad that I um, allowed myself to study the come down and the negative experience and come out stronger for it. And I'm proud that I am not looking at that moment with my friends as a negative one, because it really was fun and positive. And it makes me miss them more because we had such a great time, but it all just got overshadowed and blurred with this fucking white cocaine brush. And it's frustrating, but I love my friends. They're all good people. We're all good people. I think that we just kind of, we're just in that life. It is what it is. But I also am really happy and proud to see that my friends also are dealing with the same struggles I am, when it comes to cocaine and drugs and self-improvement and mental health and stuff like that. It seems like we're all kind of growing up. We're all just taking different avenues, and it's nice. I feel good. I'm happy. So thank you guys for hanging out. If there's any questions, I'd love to do like a Q&A thing right now, because I really don't have much else to talk about, man. It feels good to get that fucking shit off my chest, though. I'll tell you that. Edmund in chat says, your video saved my life in that regard as well, as taking half a pill or a quarter if there's an option to cut it in half, because dealers put 2 or 4 doses in a pill to send more product. Always test you. There you go. Well, I'm glad I could fucking help. Receipt in chat says, cocaine is a hell of a drug. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is, dude. It was such a trip to see this side of me that I hadn't seen in so long, man. It's crazy, man. I really had a really fucking fun time. I really did. It's like it should have just ended at like 2 a.m. though. I should have been like, all right, I'll do one more line and then I'm out of here. I could have went home. I could have been knocked the fuck out, but like I probably shouldn't have driven, whatever. I did drink a little bit, but either way, there was a much more responsible way to go about the night, and it is what it is. The thing that really kind of fucked with me was just thinking about myself, in that fucking living room, in that fucking house, like just thinking of the things I said and like the ways I acted. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Who is that guy? Holy shit! Me on when I'm drunk and I'm coked out is not me. It's not at all, and it's kind of one of the things that kind of got in my head. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen some of those friends in a long time. I hope they don't think that that's really who I am right now, because I've done so much work and I respect their opinions. And it's like, yeah, whatever. I almost wanted to be like, hey, just so you know, hey, guy, just so you know, I was like 90% joking about 80% of the shit that I said. So yeah, literally made me want to call up some friends and be like, hey, let's hang out again. Like tomorrow, because I want to hang out and like it means something. That's one of the things I realized. Like when you're getting together and you're just getting fucked up and you're like, it doesn't mean much, because you forget a lot of it, and a lot of it isn't even you. That's why a lot of the experience I had when I was younger, like or my early 20s, I barely remember. And they, as much fun as they were, it's all a blur, because I was so fucked up, Wesley in chat says, I discovered your old music and shit's fire. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. You just discovered the old music? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, that makes me happy. Me and my homies got hooked on it 3 months ago, so I know exactly what you're talking about, man. Well, there you go. I'm glad somebody knows what I'm talking about. Aaron says, hope the best for everyone here. Thank you, Aaron. It definitely is nice to see a lot more new people in chat, and I'm hoping that the podcast really start doing work, man, because I listen to so much fucking podcasts at work, and I really want to get to a point like this is the first podcast that I'm probably going to actually re-listen to. Like, I don't ever listen to my podcast ever. I watch my videos back. I listen to my music a lot. But I never listen to my podcast. And I think that's because I've never really been too proud of them. Like, I felt like the quality and the production has always been kind of whatever. But I don't know. Either way, this is probably one of the first ones that I'm really going to re-listen to. So I don't know. I'm happy about that. Receipt in chat says, do you think doing coke with drinking alcohol hits different than doing coke without alcohol? Absolutely. I would think so, but I've literally only done that one time, and it was kind of weird. Weird in a sense that, like, I don't think I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much when I'm drinking, because it felt like almost like it didn't feel as good. Like, I felt too anxious and too nervous and too like tweaky. I think the alcohol makes it a little bit more tranquil and sustainable. Thanks for your story. I'll definitely really stay away from coke for sure now. Yeah, Via, don't, it's not worth it. Don't get me wrong. It's enjoyable. And every once in a while, I really don't, for certain people, I don't see it, but I think that me and my friends, it's kind of run its course in a way. You know what I'm saying? Intoxicated Young in chat says, when was the last time you took acid? Probably about like a little over a year or so ago, I think. or around a year ago. Um, but it's probably going to happen again very soon here. So drinking and coke ain't no fucking joke, and it kind of sucks. I heard that. Google, hear that. VS in chat says, speaking of podcasts, when you post them to Apple, can you cut out the 5 minute wait? The few times I've heard it on the Apple podcast, I have to skip the 5 minute. I always cut out the 5 minutes wait. I thought. I usually cut them out, I thought. I'll have to double check that. I usually cut them out. I've always thought that's weird. But yes, I will absolutely double check that for sure. And the 5 minute wait is annoying in the first place. It shouldn't even be here on YouTube, man. That's too long. I don't know why I've never noticed that. I feel you, Google. Yeah, together it's definitely not good. I hid it from my girlfriend I've been with for 3 years. I told her, of course, but keep it a secret for a week in my homie in a sober house right now. Damn. It's rough, dude. Especially if you got the money, man. Cocaine is a hell of a drug, like they say. The one I listened to, I had to skip. Damn. That's whack. No, yeah, fuck that. Especially for the mind control podcast when we do it, I'm really going to work on that shit. Like, really, really. So, I really want it to be really high production value, and we have it very organized, and I'm excited, man, because it's gonna not only is it gonna be a fun podcast to do and talk with my cousin about different things, but it's gonna force us both to listen and experience pieces of art that we're not having before. For people who don't know what I'm talking about, my cousin Corey and I are going to be starting a new podcast called Mind Control with Corey and Mikey, and we are going to be reviewing and going and talking about a new movie, book, TV show, album, or some sort of piece of art every episode. It'll be audio only. It'll be here on this YouTube channel. It'll be on Apple. It'll be on Spotify and anywhere you get your podcasts. So if you guys don't listen to podcasts, I'm telling you, there are so many cool ones out there. Like there's this one called Blackout, where it's literally like a movie that you're listening to with your ear. It's like it's just an audio movie, man. Audiobooks is a beautiful way to get a lot of good, healthy information. It's a wave, and I'm really excited to be, starting and venturing off into it. So, where am I in chat? Kyle in chat says, cocaine ain't the way I feel you on happily not doing it anymore. Exactly. Oh, what's up, Max? How you doing, buddy? Reseed in chat says podcast is definitely the wave right now. Absolutely, dude. That's definitely like, it's the thing about it is that it's something that it feels like maybe even more so because of COVID and shit, but like just to listen to someone discuss something, especially with somebody who you respect or you have something in common with, or to listen to a subject you're into, to be able to sit there and have audio for like an hour to 3 hours. An hour to 3 hours, and an hour to 3 hours of actual audio and dialogue and what feels like almost like a conversation. It does a lot. It helps a lot. Gives people, something to enjoy and feel like, I don't know. I'm just really speaking from personal experience, man. It makes me feel like I don't want to say relationships, but it gives me the opportunity to hear other people's point of views and learn from them that I normally would not have ever heard these people's point of views. There's no way I'm about to talk to all these fucking professors and historians and fucking comedians and everybody else that I've listened to their podcasts. There's no way I'll ever have these long 2 hour, 3 hour long conversations with these people. But in a way I do. And you learn, and if you're a sponge and you allow yourself to soak up that information, man, it can really, really help you. Via in chat says y'all should talk about 6 foot underground. Oh, 6 feet under, so I won't have to watch it. Yeah, hell yeah, that'd actually be dope. That'd be kind of fun. Do a whole podcast on 6 feet under. Wesley says I'm spitting facts. I say, hey, that's the truth. I'm fucking giving them the bars, baby. Cheers. Yeah, Reese, I do listen to JRE. Absolutely, every episode. It's funny because in the past I've gone through like different waves. where I'd listen for a few months and then I'd not listen for a few months. But now that I've been working, I have so much time to listen to podcasts that I listen to every single one now. Intoxicated Young says, "Keep up your vid, man. Fan since 2010. Tell us a trip story." Tell you a trip story? I kind of just did. I kind of just did. I did. I kind of just did. Wow. That's right. I didn't even realize. Yeah, if you guys didn't hear what I just told the story of this new cocaine experience I just had, check it out. What do you do for work, bro? I work at an Amazon warehouse, and I just kind of pack boxes and bins and do a whole lot of walking. That's really it. But I honestly really fucking enjoy it. It's so funny, dude. I don't know if it's funny. It's just such a fucking trip that I feel like every time I brought up that I work at Amazon to someone, I'm not saying that this is what you're saying, Receipt, or what I worried about you saying or nothing like that. But I feel like anytime I say that to people, not every time, but a lot of the time, they'll be like, "Oh, it's almost like the idea of Amazon warehouse is shitty," and I get that. It's almost like you work in this shitty warehouse with really shitty conditions, and you just sweat and blah blah blah, and it's not easy work, but I really fucking enjoy it because I feel like I get a lot of. Am I frozen? Why am I frozen? Why is my face frozen? I don't know. Maybe I just need to keep talking. What the fuck just happened? Um, I'm frozen. I don't know what happened. Sorry, guys. In chat, can you guys can you guys see me on YouTube? I'm fucking frozen. What was I saying? No, I don't want to lose sight of what I was saying. Um, I've just always heard negative things about working at Amazon, but I really fucking enjoy it. And honestly, it might be the best place I've ever fucking worked at because I feel like I'm treated very um, respectfully. I'm frozen. Hold on. How can I fix this? I think I could do this. Hold on. If I do this, and then this. Yeah, there we go. I'm fucking so smart. All right. So yeah. So yeah. How do you like Amazon compared to Valvoline? I like Amazon a lot more because it's not so like I don't know, and I think this is just my personal experience because I don't know. I hear so many different things from other people, but I like it because I feel like I'm a respected part of the team. I feel like I'm not hounded over dumb bullshit. I feel like I go into work and I work my ass off and I sweat and I don't hear much bullshit from anybody. I don't have to be in close proximity of coworkers and customer. Don't deal with no customers at all. If I want to, I could literally go to work and not talk to anyone, literally not say one word to anybody all day. Um, and it's just I don't know. It just feels like a respected, mature job, and I enjoy that. I enjoy that. Valvoline was probably my second best job that I've you know thought about. Probably like my second best, most favorite job, but that was mostly because of the people and some of the customers and just the aspect of running a store. It felt really. I learned a lot. I guess that's the thumbnail. Reese, what's my brother up to nowadays? He's chilling, man. He is chilling with his girl, living down the hill. He was working as a firefighter, but I think because of COVID and shit that he got laid off. I'm not too sure exactly. But he's doing good. I think he's actually considering getting back into videography and stuff like that. But he's doing well. I got to get him on the podcast pretty soon. I told him I want to do more yesterday podcast with people so we can start like conversating and stuff like that. I talked to your mate Tom recently, but I gotta talk to him again. It's kind of hard because he's like a day behind me or a day ahead of me or some shit. I don't know. Either way, man, fires don't happen during COVID apparently, bro. I don't. That's what I was kind of like. Wait, why would you get laid off because of COVID? You know, I don't know. That's what he told me. Yeah, UFC 251. Might as well go over it. I paid $65 and I fucking was very upset by that. I'll go over it quickly. Rose Namajunas, she's badass. I love her. She is, in my opinion, she has the potential to be the best fighter of all. I don't know about of all time. Definitely best women's fighter of all time. I just love the way. Maybe my favorite. Maybe I need to back up and say my favorite. I love the way she fights. It's almost like looking at a painting when she fights. She's her soul, her spirit is beautiful. I'm happy she won. She deserves it. Um, I think that because she is such a mental fighter and she's in her head so much, that being able to go through this entire, situation, having to get to Abu Dhabi and Fight Island and having to do all the COVID-19 tests and all that and getting through all that and being headstrong and being able to win, I thought that was very respectable. I was really happy she won. Um, didn't really watch the Volkanovski and Max Holloway fight as much as I would have liked to because we were on fucking cocaine and being wild. Um, that's another aspect that I learned too about that night. Like, damn, I just don't want to be so nasty, like so, like toxic. Like I feel like I'm so mean sometimes. Like I call like overweight people fat instantly. It's just like my first thought. And like I do it as almost like a shock value thing, not really to be mean, but it's like there's certain things that I say, especially when I'm just around my friends. That's almost like what fucking year are you from, bro? Like, why do you even talk like that? Like, I just say shock value shit and just try to be funny, and it just kind of annoyed me. But anyways, Max Holloway, I think did very well from what I saw. It was very tight, but I mean close, but I don't know. I think Max might have won. I feel like I skipped somebody. Who did I skip? Oh, fucking Aldo. That was a good fight. I really like that one. But the main event, which was Masvidal and Usman, was kind of annoying. I mean, I guess it was a good fight. But it almost just like it would have been very hard for Masvidal to go through that 6-day notice weight cut and be powerful enough or sharp enough to knock Usman out. And I knew that was the only way he was going to win is if he knocked him out. So it was almost like the exact expectation of what everybody thought the fight was going to be, who knew at least anything about what was going on. But it was a good event. I enjoyed it. So, where am I at? Are you on cocaine? I am not. Maybe a tiny, like, insignificant amount, you know. No, when was it? It was Sunday. What's today? Wednesday? It was Sunday at 6 a.m. So, it was just over 3 days ago. So I might have a little bit in my system. But nah, I'm chilling. I'm drinking some wine, some Stella Rosa Black. It's like 5% alcohol wine, but it's kind of nice to just have like a glass or two of it. Just kind of puts me in a nice little slumber, nice little tranquil mood, and gets the juices flowing. I'm excited, dude. I'm really fucking sick of being out here in the garage. It's way too fucking hot. But the only way I can move into my house is if I put all this shit on a tiny little flimsy ass table. And I really don't want to do that, but I might have to because I'm out here sweating and shit. This is not tight, bro. That's some sweet ass wine, bro. My girl calls it juice. She said, "I don't want none of your juice." I'm like, "Come on, huh?" The way I look at it, it's just like a beer. It's like having a beer, but it's way less carbs and bullshit, you know. But either way, it does taste like juice. What do I think about the new Eminem song with Kid Cudi? I only listened to it one time. I need to listen to it more. But I liked it. I really liked it. It sounded like old Kid Cudi to me. And it sounded like something new from Eminem. But I only listened to it one time. So I will definitely listen to it more. I got to listen to a lot of music more. I can't wait till me and my cousin Corey get into the like flow of this podcast, because once we do, man, I want to knock out like episodes as quick as possible. Because like the more we do, the more we'll get into like a rhythm, You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna have to happen. Like the yesterday podcast, dude. Like I have the rhythm down for the most part. Like I'm really comfortable where I'm at. I don't really get too much dead air anymore. Like I kind of don't really. I try not to do podcasts when I don't have shit to say. But yeah, I'm just excited to finally to because I think that the Mind Control podcast is gonna do better than this, just based off literally the uh ESO, I guess, just like the keywords and the titling and the ideas that I have, and the fact that we're basically we're going to, um, like do content on content and that type of shit. You know, this podcast is content about myself and my self improvement and whatever the fuck else. But mind control is gonna be a little different. So I'm really looking forward to it. So thoughts on cocaine addiction? Um, I don't really know too much about the addictive aspect to it, I guess, because I guess I do find myself being addicted to doing it in excess when I do it or have done it in the past, but I've never experienced addiction or even really known anybody who was addicted to it like that, I guess. I mean, kind of, but without thinking too much, I guess I'd say that it's basically it's a hard thing to talk about because I've never dealt with it, but it's it's sad, and it's one of those things that if you have the opportunity to do it, like cocaine is not easily addictive because of people's financial situations. But for those who can afford it, I can only imagine that it would be so fucking hard to get past and get through, because when it comes to cocaine is not necessarily even like the addiction to cocaine has more to do with what comes with cocaine. Having a lot of cocaine means you have a lot of money, it means you have a lot of power, it means that you can use that power to get what you want in multiple different ways. So addictions to cocaine is kind of like, it can get more complicated than other types of drugs, in my opinion, because that type of a lifestyle, and once you get to that point where you can afford to be addicted to cocaine, you become addicted to power and other things that are associated with that, in my opinion. So I don't really know. That'll be my opinion on it right there, I guess. You'll probably get a lot of people who are into conspiracy theories with that name, mind control. Yeah, probably, right? Especially doing the first episode on Charles Manson and shit. But, all right, guys, I'm gonna take off. I know this has not been a long podcast, but I kind of just, I don't want to ramble too much, and I kind of want to wrap this up and put a nice little bow on it. I went through it. I went through it from Sunday until, maybe this morning or so. Maybe yesterday or so. Yesterday was a little bit better. Yesterday I kind of like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be all right. So, but I went through it. I got out of it, and I'm happy to be able to report to you guys what I went through and how it was for me. I'm happy to sit here on my computer and not be afraid of it. Like I didn't even come in here for like the entire, since Sunday. I didn't even come in my garage. I think one night I did to watch a couple YouTube videos, and then I got out. I didn't even want to come in here. It was just kind of like, I don't know, a mind fuck. But happy to be in here. Happy to be streaming live with you guys. Happy to fucking be back. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Via, Dom, Receipt, Kyle, Wesley, Google, Intoxicated, Dom. Did I say that? Disco, I said that. Appreciate you guys all. Thank you so much, man. This really means a lot. Don't forget to check out the podcast. If you can, go subscribe to it. Go to your if you have an iPhone, you should have a podcast app that you can download. Just search podcast. If you have Spotify, just search Audible 484 podcast, and this should pop up. Go subscribe to it. It helps out a lot. Leave a review. If you guys are listening to the podcast, let me know. Leave a review on the show on there, or let me know. I'm really curious to see how many people actually listen, because going forward, I'm really going to be focusing on that. So. Again, audible484.com to support. Get yourself some merch, a little t-shirt or something. I love you all. Have a great fucking, I was going to say week, but have a great rest of your Wednesday and rest of your week. I see you. I said hi to all you guys. Okay, we're good. Thank you guys. Love you, love. I will see you guys soon. Check out the Discord. I'll keep up with you guys on that. Be happy, be yourselves. Peace.